What if the biggest thing that is holding you back isn't your circumstances, but however, it is the stories that you keep telling yourself about yourself? And that's because you were never born thinking that you are enough. That is instilled in you. You weren't born afraid of if you become enough or believing that you can become successful compared to others. You have learned that along the way. And the thing is, somewhere along the way, you started questioning yourself and you started renouncing whatever was fully yours, and you started waiting for the right moment to appear. However, that never happened because it felt like you were never ready. However, that moment belongs to you, and you were waiting for that moment to remember who you truly are. A lot of people walk through life thinking that success belongs to a certain type of people. Someone who is smarter, someone who is luckier, and someone who has the right connections, and someone who just started earlier. Because it's what they believe, that they step into that potential, and therefore they limit themselves and they stop themselves from fully diving in. And that's because that's what they believe, that thing about themselves, and that limits their potential. And they spend their time trying to prove otherwise, that they're worthy, instead of actually realizing that they are valuable internally and they can transcend that outward. So they get stuck into seeking validations, and that's what happens. And they would need to approval of what they're doing, because that means something. And they start comparing from the level 1 that what they're on, they're comparing that to a level 20 of somebody's life. And that comparison also kills the momentum and kills their potential, because then they're not really applying themselves. Be like, step level 1, oh, I should not be in that state, or should not be in that thing. And therefore, that could be very limiting. Think about when you were a kid, you had certain type of imagination. You believed that anything was possible. You tried things without even worrying about what other people thought about you, or if you looked stupid. You failed and someone criticized you, so then you start telling yourself, oh, I need to be more realistic. Someone made you question your self-worth and made you question yourself. And slowly, that curiosity turned into comfort. You stopped asking, what's possible, and you started asking, what if I failed? The goal isn't to become worthy. The goal is to build that discipline, the courage, and the skills to express what is already inside of you. And that's the value that is within. And your potential rises like a seed that formulates into a tree, and that formulation becomes powerful, and that someone doesn't really need to seek permission. That is the powerful that becomes planted and watered and given the environment to grow. So potential comes from there. And the abundance that you seek and what you're looking for is not waiting outside of you. It's waiting exactly on the decisions that you make and the fulfillment that you take for yourself to create what is already within you. Here's where people get stuck. They wait for the confidence to set in. However, they don't take any actions before that to build that confidence. However, confidence doesn't just come from just waiting. Confidence is built through the action and the processes that is you take it through. And you build that confidence by keeping promises to yourself, and you keep building yourself upward. And that sets in by building the belief system, by doing the things that are not easy. And you build that momentum through the challenges and taking the next steps. And you don't need to climb the full staircase, you just need to take that one step at a time. You were never missing the potential. What you were missing is the decision. And the decision comes from seeing yourself, someone who stops waiting for life to happen to them, and start seeing yourself as someone who creates that. And the world doesn't reward yet just another person that hides their gifts and hides their potential and what they can do through their action. It rewards that someone who expresses that. And you were born with something very unique, and that uniqueness is waiting for you to contribute to the world that is around you. And your responsibility is to harvest that and develop that and express it and share it with the world. And now you stop waiting and start expressing.